What's up guys, my name is Jack, you're watching JBTCG, and right in front of me I'm looking at a Pokemon product that is severely undervalued for what is contained inside and its set value that it has. Now, I'm not going to show you it just yet. We're going to look at a bunch of different Pokemon sealed products and then compare it to this sealed product that I think is undervalued at the end, and you'll see why I think right now is a great opportunity to invest in this product. So let's take a look at some various Pokemon products. The first one is going to be the Destined Rivals Booster Box. This we know got a little reprint right after it surged in price through August and September. It's still up 20% on the 3-month graph. So even if you bought it 3 months ago in August when it was over $300, you're still up. Right now it's worth around $378. At its peak, it was selling for around $450. Which is incredibly expensive. I personally did not pay for any Destined Rivals booster boxes anywhere close to that amount. And I remember making a video around this time saying that investing in Destined Rivals is not worth it. It's better to put money elsewhere, in my opinion. And it looks like that video came true based off of how things are moving. But regardless, the booster box is worth $378 right now. So very expensive for a booster box that's been out, what, 4 months at this point, maybe 5. Now let's look at a little bit older of a booster box. This is going to be Brilliant Stars. This is worth $490, so pretty expensive, but it is a Sword and Shield era, alt art era booster box, so it kind of makes sense. And it was out of print or going out of print before a lot of the newer people came into the hobby. So a lot of the people that came in with Prismatic Evolutions never had the opportunity to buy these Brilliant Stars booster boxes when they were like $150, $160 last year, and like $130 the year before that. So they never had the opportunity to. So obviously with all these new people, new demand flows in, it moves up in price. It being $490 is not shocking whatsoever. Now the set value for Brilliant Stars, not crazy. Especially when you compare it to some of the big hitters like Fusion Strike, Evolving Skies, Lost Origin, or even a lot of the Scarlet and Violet sets. The top chase is this Charizard V Alt Art, $345. Pretty expensive. This used to be a very cheap top chase card. I remember like this was way cheaper than the Lugia V, way cheaper than the Giratina V, and it still is. But it's crazy to see it's $300+. And then after that, there isn't any card above $100 in this set. So it's kind of wild that a booster box that's basically $500 only has one card above $100 inside. The next top chases come from the trainer gallery. So you got the Umbreon VMAX here, then the Mimikyu V, and then you got an alt art, that Arceus V. I like that card quite a bit. So there's decent depth in this set. There's one top chase, but there's only one card above $100, so it doesn't have tremendous value inside, but it is still a $500 booster box. The next one we're going to talk about is the Journey Together Enhanced booster box. Specifically, I'm not going to talk about the regular one just because it's a little bit more rare, a little bit more niche, and in my opinion, what most people are investing in is this enhanced box. So this one's worth $250. We see a couple sell per day, not a crazy sell-through rate. But it is a $250 booster box. It does come with that enhanced promo, the enhanced Reshiram Ends Reshiram promo card. That is worth, I want to say, between $25 and $30. Great promo card in my opinion, and especially with the End Zekrom coming out in Mega Dream EX, and I guess Legendary Dream is what it's going to be called in English. Especially with that card coming out, I think investing or like trying to make a flipping play on buying Ends Reshiram stamp promos and regular illustration rares might not be a bad play. I don't know exactly what's going to happen. I don't know if that card is going to shoot up in value or get pumped, but I could definitely see that happening. But regardless, it's a $250 booster box, and we'll take a look at the set list here. So the top chase is going to be your Lily's Clefairy. That's $147. Pretty low for a top chase card. It's more expensive than some of the early Scarlet and Violet sets, like Scarlet and Violet Base, Paradox Rift, but in terms of what we've seen recently with like Black Bolt, White Flare, Destined Rivals, it really just can't compare, especially like Prismatic Evolutions. The next top chase is the Salamence EX, $72. This card I think is heavily undervalued at 72 bucks. Like, the artwork is let's just take a look at this card. The artwork is fantastic here. Like, and I have this card, it's not in front of me so that I can't show you guys, but in person, the texturing, it looks great. And if you want to get it for super cheap, you can get it in Japanese for maybe like 30 bucks. Super, super affordable. Really, really nice card. But again, it is only $70, not a crazy top chase. Then you have Enzoroark at 50, Iono's Bellibolt at 44, Hop Zacian at 35. So there's like a little bit of depth, but it's not a big set. It's not a very expensive set. And it makes sense that it's cheap because it's a small set. It's about the same size as Phantasmal Flames. That means that your odds of getting these special illustration rares is higher than it would be for a bigger set like Destined Rivals. So definitely keep an eye on that Mega Charizard XEX from Phantasmal Flames. I think it's going to drop a ton in value after release and after a ton of people open it, because it's not going to be crazy hard to pull. It's going to be hard to pull. Your average person isn't going to pull it, but it's not your Prismatic Umbreon, it's not your Evolving Skies Umbreon, and it's not your like Lost Origin Giratina. It's a much more common card, but it will have a crazy amount of demand because it's a fantastic artwork of probably most people's favorite or second favorite Mega Evolution. So that's kind of just another side note, but that's going to be an interesting card to watch in the market. And also, you're going to see a ton of Pokemon YouTubers say, the Charizard is crashing, oh my god, Phantasmal Flames is doomed, because this card is going to fall probably like 40% in value over the next like 3 months because so many will be pulled. And people are going to make their clickbait thumbnails trying to convince you that Phantasmal Flames is falling apart, when in reality, we already know this is going to happen far in advance. So be ready for that. I'll be really surprised if it doesn't crash. But anyway, we were talking about Journey Together, and I started talking about Mega Evolution and Phantasmal Flames. But $250 booster box, the value inside isn't that great. You do have an enhanced topper that does add value to it, and it's a great promo card. But in terms of the value inside the set, there's not that much, and the booster box is 250 bucks. Next, a set with even less value. We move on to Stellar Crown, which booster box is $274. Let's go to the year graph. This one was worth $114 in November. And even then, I remember I bought my box, I want to say for like, it was pretty cheap. It was like barely above 80 bucks. I used like TikTok shop coupons and stuff like that. And this is the set that I've invested the least into out of any set in the last like 2-3 years. I put basically no money into Stellar Crown. I literally bought one booster box. I didn't buy any regular ETBs or anything because let's look at the set value. Look at the top chases. We got a Squirtle at $74, and these cards are great. The Squirtle and Bulbasaur, fantastic. But that's all the set has. You have a $74 Squirtle, a $59 Bulbasaur, and then a $37 Terapagos. Now the artwork on the Terapagos is really detailed and really cool, but it's a Terapagos card and there isn't that much demand for it, to be honest with you. There's really no value in Stellar Crown, which is why I didn't really invest in it, and it used to be super, super cheap. But now that it's less common to see a Stellar Crown booster box out in the wild, it's a $270 booster box, and people are paying $270. Let's look at recent sales. Yeah, people are paying around $260. We'll call it $260 in the last few days. $260 for this box. That's crazy. I'd much rather buy a Journey Together enhanced booster box, which comes with a guaranteed promo inside, worth about half as much as the top chase from Stellar Crown, than buy a Stellar Crown booster box. But that's just me. That is just me. So let's go through the costs of these things. Destined Rivals booster box, $370, right? Yeah, $370, $380. Brilliant Stars booster box, $490. Then we got Journey Together, $250. Stellar Crown, $250, $260. And now let's look at this last one, and this is Mega Evolution. $270 right now, but they are very easily found at around $250. And we saw just a few days ago, it was at $250 on TCG Player. And you'll see listings right around $250, $260 on TCG Player. So it's we'll call it 260 because that's what we're seeing a lot of the sales at and a lot of the listings at. So $260 for this. You get an enhanced topper. You get an enhanced promo card on top of this. So you get that like what, $20 Bulbasaur. So same as Journey Together. And the booster box costs the same amount as Journey Together right now. I'd much rather put my money in Mega Evolution, which has a set value of $1,861 compared to Journey Together, which has a set value of $585. Same thing with Stellar Crown. Where's Stellar Crown? $414 for the sum of all of the hits inside. Even if you hit everything, you'd be barely profiting on your booster box. Now, for Mega Evolution, obviously, way more value. Destined Rivals, a $370 booster box, is valued at $1,929. So more than Mega Evolution, not by a crazy amount though. Now, the difference in their booster box prices is a crazy amount. It's around $120 difference, and Destined Rivals doesn't come with a promo topper that adds value to the box. It's just a booster box. So I think there's a huge mispricing in the market where this booster box is super, super undervalued for what can be inside. Now, if we scroll down even further, we can get to, where's Brilliant Stars? Brilliant Stars, if you add up the trainer gallery and the main set, because they do it, it's separated. I don't know what reason it is, but that's around $1,200 for that combined value from all the cards in the set. So $1,200 for Brilliant Stars, which is, I want to say, a 3-year-old set at this point. That box is worth $500. Mega Evolution, more value inside, is worth $250. So now I'm not saying that Brilliant Stars should come down in price or Mega Evolution should immediately be as expensive as Brilliant Stars. Brilliant Stars is 3 years old and it is out of print. It makes sense that it's $500. But my point is, Mega Evolution booster boxes right now, I think they have the potential to be as expensive as a Brilliant Stars booster box or more expensive than a Brilliant Stars booster box in 2 to 3 years. And that would be doubling or maybe even more than that of your money in that span of time. And if we're thinking long-term investing, that is outstanding. With something like the S&P 500, you're hoping that it stays consistent at its like 8 to 10% growth rate per year, and then you double your money in what, like 5, 6, maybe it's like 6.5 years that you double your initial investment if it stays the course. With this, I think it has the potential to double in price in 2 to 3 years, and I think that is great gains. And I think a lot of people have this like disillusionment that they need to double their money in 3 months, 6 months, or in a year. But that's not what Pokemon investing is about. At least that's not what it used to be about. Like years ago, it was just buy good products that you think people will want 5, 10, 15 years down the line, and then you can pay off your kids' college tuition or help pay off your house in 10, 15 years. It wasn't about make a quick flip here and make a ton of money immediately in the next like 5 weeks. That's not what this has always been about. And when you kind of take a step back, there's a ton of potential in sets like Mega Evolution, which are being overlooked right now because the hype is elsewhere. There was a lot of hype in it a month ago and it was $315. Now, I did make the mistake of buying some boxes at that point in time for $280, but I will happily cost average down because I didn't even think that they would get down to $250. Now that they are, I think it is a great opportunity to invest in these because there's so much value in this set, and I think there's so much potential for these chase cards to appreciate in value in the future. Now, obviously, one counter argument, and I don't want to pretend like there is no counter argument, is that this set is, what, 2 months old at this point, or a month and a half old, so it hasn't settled in the market. We haven't seen how it's going to accept it, where these cards are going to like kind of meet demand and supply at. We don't actually know what set value will be the like equilibrium point in the market. So like this could go down in value. The whole set value could go to $1,600, or people could decide that this set is fantastic and it goes up to $2,000. We saw that happen with Destined Rivals, where it fell a lot in its total set value, but then it kind of shot up and it like surged in value over the past like 2-3 months. So I really just wanted to bring this to your guys' attention. I'm not saying that this is the best investing play in the world right now, but it's one that I think is very obvious and I think is like glaring signals that this is an undervalued product, especially compared to other things in the market. And I like where the market is at in general for this product to increase in value, meaning I think we've reached a stabilizing point for a lot of the products that have surged in value over the past few months. Things like Pokemon Center ETBs from the Scarlet and Violet era, things like the Destin Rivals booster box. I think we're finding that stabilization point after the correction period that we saw in October. And I think we're going to see some products surge up in price over the coming months. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Mega Evolution booster box is one of them. And even if it isn't, I think long term it is still a great product. Obviously, I've got a couple backup here. I'm a big fan of it. I wish it looked a little bit cooler. That is my only gripe. I wish there was a Pokemon on the front, not just a blank black front. But I can't complain too much. That's all I got for today. Let me know what you thought about this down in the comments. Do you agree with my points? Do you think Mega Evolution is garbage? Either way, let me know down in the comments. As always, thank you guys so much for watching and stay safe out there.